Yes, people. Yes, people. We're back. We're back. Let me just make sure everything play. You made mention of the other say, I quote, my good coach. Yo, bro, people them are go hard. People them we're gonna clear up some things, man. The people them I say we are spread fake news and all this good stuff, all that jazz. But we're gonna dive into it today, man. That man forward with something pun him chest. um when the show not start and you start yo bro people start cuss and the show not started it kind of tell you what kind of show it's gonna be like it's gonna it look like the people them say yo JT we're gonna get it just need to send out my notification people my phone battery died so no for my thing them not send out so I just need to send this out and we're good to go basically. I'll come I call the phone to the phone dead the phone a freeze. Man same good JT. Yeah, and he should be good. We want these players to be good. I'm just gonna explain to you guys how I came about this information. And because I'm not gonna take any blame in this. I'm just letting people know that this is not an apology video right now. So anybody who's here expecting an apology, you probably this is probably not the night we're gonna get an apology from me. All right. Let me just send this off and then we're good to go. Just need to send this off to a few people here and then we're good to go. Yeah, man. Because enough people I say, yo, JT is a basically fight Mr. Butler and all this nonsense. And I'm like, come on, bro. There's no fight. There's no fight in this. We're just talking football and it is what it is. If the story is inaccurate, nothing is wrong with saying yes. So that's why I'm going to clear this up. Because the story is if the story is inaccurate, I would do that. But I'm gonna let you guys know that this story doesn't actually need to be accurate. The story is not about being accurate. The story has nothing to do with being accurate, man. This story has nothing to do with being accurate. All right, there we go. Everything sent off, everything grill up. Welcome back, people. The weather is not nice right now. The weather not nice at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. The weather don't nice. All right, yeah, man. So, people, a couple days ago, got a phone call. It was a three-way call with an individual who knows me, and apparently one of the parents of a player that was in the group of players that were a part of the team in Belgium. So this I guess the parent was saying that the players are disgruntled, and this is coming from a parent. This is like, me not even didn't know if me want to run the story, but I'm saying, okay, is this a thing where parents are concerned? And because me never, bro, I don't track this team, and I don't track these players. These players are playing in like the 12th or 10th division somewhere in Belgium. Like, I'm not here. The only reason I even knew about that club is when Mr. Butler said he bought the club. Because I saw Mr. Butler, by the way, put out some videos and with the guys loading up on the bus. And then people are saying, JT, see the on a flap, Mr. Butler come flap on again, him showing us say a lie on our tell and this and that. Bro, at any point of the show did I say I don't want these players to be in Europe and I'm hoping that these players don't make it? it was never a situation. It was never a situation like that. These players are at some club in Belgium. I don't know what division. If it's fifth division, those divisions are not even on the football radar for me personally. Like, I don't watch anything lower than the championship. Even my friend who's attached to Charlton Athletic, to another League One team as well. No, Charlton is a championship. Another League One team. He's like, JT, check out this match, check out this player. I'm just not motivated to watch those kind of leagues because it's not high intensity football. I heard the team is in the third division in Belgium. See, third division in Belgium. What is the third? The third division in Belgium is not on the level of the USL. The third division is not on the USL level. It's not there yet. But it's a good starting point for the players. Obviously, Mr. Butler is always seeking ways and routes how to get his players into Europe. And that's amazing. Funnily, nobody took any positive from the part in the video where I also gave Mr. Butler credit. However, I said I gave you the story on the basis of alleged. This was all alleged. This is where I was contacted. I was at home, contacted on a three-way call with an individual and a parent, and you're saying, my son, blah, 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 they're not happy. Some of the players are being left stranded. Sometimes they're not getting monies on time. So I should have looked at it as, well, this parent should have only been speaking for his son. But I was thinking maybe possibly this is a um this is maybe a thing that all the kids there are talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe this is what all the kids there are talking about, that hey, we're not getting the monies and stuff like that. And we did saw a situation with Martin Davis. Martin Davis came out and said that to people, that the monies that he was supposed to receive, because the money was going through a third party, which we all know, and then the money was coming to him. The money he was getting, it wasn't the money. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. Is this a situation where the players are not getting paid, or a situation like that? Another thing again is, though Mr. Butler has ownership of the club, we don't know, and I said this on the show, we don't know if Mr. Butler funds the day-to-day running of the club. I don't know that. I don't know if Mr. Butler is a part of the day-to-day running and the finance of the club. I didn't even know that the club would have to pay Mr. Butler, then he pay the players. Because I thought, since you drop off the players' accounts are now attached to the club, and the club pays the players directly. Eh, You see what I'm saying? No, I never called Mr. Butler. I never had Mr. Butler. I never had a conversation with Mr. Butler. And you see, Mr. Butler is not gonna have a conversation with a person like me, because I'm gonna ask him what I feel like asking him. And the one time I asked Mr. Butler a question, he felt like he felt he felt disrespected, because you're not supposed to question Mr. Butler. You're not supposed to question him. But I don't live in a dictatorship. Unfortunately, with the good and the bad, we were lucky to be born in the West, where democracy is the name of the game. It's where you have, I would say, a quota system on freedom of speech. There's a few things you can say, and there's certain things you can't say. I don't live like that. And I'm supposed to ask Mr. And I don't run my YouTube channel like ESPN. My YouTube channel is more of a conversation. I do want to get the quality up, and I'm always aspiring to get the quality up and whatever, but I still want the show to stay at the core of what people know JT as, a person who's not afraid to ask the questions that the fans want to know. And let's be honest, the fans are split when it comes on to Mr. Butler. Fans are split. There are some fans who are Mr. Butler, man like Grimy, big up yourself. Grimy is a full-on Mr. Butler fan. There are people who just don't want to hear anything have anything to do with Mr. Butler based on how he speaks. Let me just reverse back to where, remember, when I came on YouTube, the shows are there on Ryan channel. When I came on YouTube, I was asking for Mr. Butler to be a part of the Jamaica Football Federation, even coach the team, because I was just seeing the snippets of Mr. Butler, how he came out and he talks about football. There were a lot of things he was saying that resonated with me, as far as he thinks that Jamaica can win the World Cup if we do certain things right. Development, those things, I don't have any disagreement with Mr. Butler when it comes on to these things. My problem that I started to run into with Mr. Butler is, I think it's where the Paul Hall was hired as the coach. Before Paul Hall took the job, it's a number of things right in that area. Mr. Butler came out and said that Paul Hall, who is a UEFA A licensed coach, should take 7 of his players from Phoenix Academy, including Leon Bailey, so that's 8, and build the Jamaican team around it and play his style of football. No, like, how does that sound to you? If Paul Hall is given the job to go and coach in Jamaica, and as soon as Paul Hall get the job, Mr. Butler comes out and says that Paul Hall should use 7 of his players from his academy, 7 of his players that are not playing anywhere, by the way. They're just at his academy, and build the national team around it and play his style of football. So I was thinking that that's like me showing up on a plane and I tell the pilot, listen, go on in a first class, go on easy. The way you have the pilot license, I may fly this thing. Let me show you if you fly. Mr. Butler doesn't respect anyone else's experience when it comes on to football. When it comes on to football, he developed Leon Bailey and he thinks this is how it should go and how it's going to go. Another problem that I found with Mr. Butler was he only spoke about his players. And this was after, remember, so I said, if we go back when I came on YouTube, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Butler. Hearing his and I'm still a fan of some of his ideas. I'm still a huge fan of some of Mr. Butler's ideas. That's where I want people to differentiate the ideas and some of the things that I'm not a fan of. I don't know Mr. Butler personally. I never did a show where I discussed Mr. Butler's personal life. I've never seen the man in like the flesh. I've never seen him in the flesh. So I cannot, I've been on shows where people come on the show back when I was on other channels, and they come in the chat, in the private chat, and saying to the host, let me on so I can come on and expose Mr. Butler. And it's documented. And I say, let me get off the show because we don't know the man personally, and I won't be a part of anything on YouTube that has to do with a person's personal life. I don't know the person. But when it pertains to football in the Jamaican space, it's all free, it's all fair game. I feel like we can just talk about anything. When it comes on to football, it's all fair game. So I felt that, hey, listen, I can discuss all things. So that was one of the main points when he wanted Paul Hall, as I said, to build a team around 7 Phoenix Academy players who are not playing no professional football, to build the national team around them and play his style of football. I thought that was, he had no respect for Paul Hall. That's what I got from that. No. And all of these things occurred around the same time, when Topper got fired. Did my checks on this. It's alleged that Mr. Butler wanted to coach the team when Topper stepped down. He asked, I think it must have been Rudolph Speed, about the coaching job. And they said, yes, just send in your resume, like the other coaches who are applying for the job. And I don't know if it went along the lines of he didn't reply, or he's saying which resume. So, and as far as I know, I don't know of Mr. Butler having any pro license in coaching. I don't know if him having a European license, if because I'm sure If it's one thing I'm sure of, if Mr. Butler had a European, a UEFA license, that would be on YouTube. We would have known by now. We would have known by now. But that doesn't say that he's not good at what he does at coaching, because we all know that coaching license don't make you a good coach. We cannot we cannot argue the fact that Mr. Butler knows football. He knows football. He probably knows football more than a lot of us, because he's in there every minute, every day. But when it comes on to him saying that, when it came on to the JFF and him getting the job for the national team, and he felt like he didn't need a qualification because he developed Leon Bailey, I find that to be weird again. So those were two things there. That's when Mr. Butler started to really lose me right there. Those are some of the two things. When Paul Hall came in and he thought that we should build the Jamaica national team, people, 1 second, people, please hit the like button on the video. We have 70 people in here and 10 likes on the video. It's a joke. Please hit the like button on the video. And it's getting, we have to change a hoodie here, people. It's getting very hot in here. But yo, please hit the like button while I just change this hoodie. It's too hot in here right now. All right, there we go. This is it's a little bit warm in there. So yes, so those were two things that really lost me there, with the Paul Hall and him stating that Paul Hall should coach the team this way and build a team around Phoenix Academy players. So those are two things, and the thing with the JFF job. Again, while Mr. Butler giving his Phoenix players credit, and I'm being very unbiased here, which he has the right to do. We all can agree that he's a marketing genius when it comes on to marketing a player, selling them to the public, and building up that you know that vibe around the player, so you can say, okay, this player has the potential to, without even seeing the player. Mr. Butler can sell you that. He's very good at that. But I found out that he wasn't talking about players around the island. If you want to be a part of the national program, which is based on an entire country, and everything you talk about, it's just your players, and you still want Mr. Rudolph speed out, but you sound like you're getting ready to go in there and do what you're accusing Mr. Rudolph speed of. So I thought, I was like, yeah, this is the same thing. It's just another person here coming from another angle. That's another thing. That's the third thing I'm telling you, what I've disagreed with Mr. Butler. And this is not the person. I'm talking about statements and opinions he had on football. As I said, I don't know the person as an individual. I'm talking about what's been said in the media space. Another thing, when Mr. Butler came on and he was having the disagreement with Mr. Speed, no matter what that is, him taking off his shirt on stream on YouTube, and 2 minutes you're over on sports mats being professional, and you're ambassador and you're diplomat for Jamaica, and you want Jamaican football to push up. Those things don't coincide with me, bro. Those things don't coincide. Like, you're not gonna be on. It's like me dip on YouTube, I do a bag of things, and then me I try go to church, go tell people how to live. I don't thought that was. I thought that was very embarrassing. He lost his composure, take off his shirt on YouTube, and just go on with a bag of things. And I'm like, whoa, is this the same person who would want to coach the national team? Maybe be the technical director of Jamaica football. You know, the technical director of any football program where they YouTube, I take off them shirt and I go crazy like that. I know people might say it's Jamaica, where situation is different and we might need to settle for less. No, but bro, those things don't work with the organization. Certain things don't work with, no matter how bad your organization is functioning. The organization, the JFF, still represents Jamaica. And I thought that stream, when Mr. Butler take off him shirt and go crazy, I was like, no. That's not a JFF kind of behavior we want, as bad as the JFF is doing. And them time they may a clot the iron. Them time they may a beat JFF left and right. So I'm not picking up for the JFF there. I just thought the way he carried on there, I didn't like it. And then I was like, no, he shouldn't be a part of the JFF. Not with that kind of behavior, losing his composure. And Mr. Speed, for, I would say, in the public's eye and favoritism, Mr. Speed might have looked like he lost that battle, but I think Mr. Speed came out of that one admirable. He just looked, he was composed, he didn't lose it. And that's how it is. Even if Mr. Speed is conflict of interest, even if he is a thief, even if he is anything, he still came out of that. He still came out of that situation composed and was calm under pressure. And those people are natural leaders. There's a quote in this poem where it says like, if you can keep your head when everybody around you is losing theirs, it's the quality of a true leader. You see, man, it's a quality of a true leader. Like when I saw Craig Butler going off there on Mr. Speed, and I was like, whoa, as we know Mr. Speed is probably doing some more crap on where I do, like, but that's whatever that is. But here we have the two people in front of us, and one is going off. And I was like, no, bro, it cannot be JFF. That's the fourth thing right there. So when people are going to say, JT, you hate Mr. No, I as I said, I have problems with some of Mr. Butler's opinions. Mr. Butler's opinions and some of his statements. I don't know the individual, and I've given Craig Butler credit on so many occasions. On so many occasions. So when people messaging me like, JT, you're gonna be liable, you're gonna get a lawsuit, that we're gonna sue you, and I'm like, bro, sue me for what? Sue me for a parent calling me and saying that things is not going well with some of the players in Belgium, yet hence they're all back home. That's not my fault. Mr. Butler need to go track down those parents then and find out who are these disgruntled parents. And which parent, you know, me don't know anybody from Phoenix Academy. The amount of stories where people give me for run all the time, and I don't even run these stories. Money's owed, money's borrowed on players before they even been sold. People owe people, and I don't come out with them story and say, oh, let me go do a show and try to tear down Mr. Butler. That's not, as I said, that's not my job on YouTube. I was contacted and I did a show about that. I did a show about that, and I was very strategic in the way I titled the video. A lot of people even missed the question mark in the title. I don't know if they understand that the question mark indicates that it's a lot of questions around this statement here. This is not definite. A lot of it is around this question. A statement cannot be a question. Yeah. There's a lot of, I had questions. I was questioning the title. So a lot of people didn't really understand that. I think a lot of people saw that JT come out, come say, Mr. Butler players them get banned from Belgium. There's no way in that video I said Mr. Butler players got banned from Belgium, because I don't have that facts. I don't have that evidence. There's no way. If somebody can clip that in the show, please clip that. And if me shut down my YouTube channel, if you can find where Mr. Butler players were banned from Europe, and this is a definite, I got information from the club, and I never came out and said that. I never came out and said that. I had questions, and that's why there was a question sign in the title of that video. And that's why a lot of people don't understand how contracts work, and because you can put little things in fine print, even just a question mark, apostrophe, all of those things change the context of things. People need to understand when something is definite, if it's being something that we're questioning or something that's factual. And when I said if I had concrete information like facts, I would not say allegedly, because I would have just had my facts here. And if somebody tried to sue me, I just present my facts that here's my facts. I didn't have those. And I was going off someone who was disgruntled. No, me see some of the players them I say then Mr. Butler put out another video and the player them I say like he must say no good and thing, and I think the same kid that's on the thumbnail soccer was saying yeah them know like he must say if them know a man life or something like that. All I can say to you guys, bro, focus. Um you guys might see us critique Leon Bailey on YouTube and say him not play well, and but Leon Bailey can come back out and say, them no know we're not talk about on YouTube, because you know why? Leon Bailey is actually a pro. He's there. He has done the work, and he is at the pinnacle of football. So a lot of you other young players at a Phoenix Academy, you might be at Phoenix Academy, but don't bright up in yourself and think you are Leon Bailey already. Don't think you are Leon Bailey already. You might hear us critique Leon Bailey, and Leon Bailey can come out and push back and say, them YouTube people, them don't know how much. Leon Bailey is actually a pro. He can leave football right now and become a coach in no time. A pro like a coach. He's like a pro. So a lot of you kids, maybe Mr. Butler is like, gassing you guys up that you all are going to be pro. A lot of you won't be pros. A lot of you guys won't be pros. That's just how football, and it's not a bad mind thing. It's thousands of players who don't cut through every day. Thousands of players coming from Africa who don't make it. Thousands of players coming from the Americas, South America, top countries who still don't make it in football. The best make it. It's a filtering system. Each level you get to, people get filtered out. And if you don't put in the work, you guys are at Division 3. You guys are at Division 3 club in Belgium. No disrespect, guys. I played a higher division than you guys. I played Division 2 here in Europe. No matter what no one said, I have to argue with that on YouTube. I play so, and I know how hard it is. But my thing is, I wasn't in Europe to play football. I came to Europe with my family, and I saw the opportunity to play football, and I was already playing football, and I was good at football. But then I realized the delegation that it comes with to be a pro. When it comes on to football, it takes a different level of focus, brother. It takes a level of I would say, honesty with yourself, and knowing when you're not good enough, and knowing when you need to get better. Than you're having people around you saying you're the greatest, you're gonna get there. You also need that as well. You need people to tell you that you have the potential and you're good and you can get there. But don't feed off of that steroid there. Don't feed off of that, and don't put in the actual work and see what happens. You're not going to get there, bro. At each stage. Because when you hit 25, if you hit 25 in Europe and you're still at third division football, in any European country, that's it for you. You're not getting to any Premier League. You're not. I can't remember any players. Well, it's a bit different in England, because when you look at a player like Ethan Pinnock, where and Ethan Pinnock, good player, Brentford came up through the ranks. I think they came up almost from Sunday League football. There are cases and there are anomalies, but that's in England. But when I'm saying if you're spread out in Holland, third division, you're somewhere in France, third division, and then place there, you have to be playing lights out to even then get up to second division, and then even start talk about first division, and then start talking about Super League or Premier League football. So all I'm saying, guys, I know you guys probably saw the video and you thought, yo, watch the youth up on YouTube, I chat off him out, him no know nothing. But with life and all them thing there. Yeah, I can say probably that didn't come off right, but make sure you stay focused on football, because we're not trying to be pro here. Make sure you guys are not back in Jamaica at Harborview and them club there I rub off the bench and I try to get playing time. You see me I say? Make sure. So just make sure on the focus. And that's what a lot of them need to understand. I think a lot of those players as well, they go there and they see what Leon Bailey has accomplished, and they might think that, oh, I'm at Phoenix already. I made it. Michael Hector, all those guys came to Chelsea Academy. Casey Palmer, a lot of those players, they're in Championship, League One. Some of those players, Championship. A lot of players who came to Chelsea, Arsenal. That's how football works. So it's about the work where you put in, and can you transition? Do you get better at each phase? Do you transition? So when you go to Belgium, bro, and do the right thing. And if a lot of you guys are doing, if you guys are doing well, we are gonna call for you for being at the national team, even if you don't like me, because me no love man, brother. I told you this straight up. I'm just a fan of Jamaican football and a patriot. If any one of those youths in Belgium move up right now and start play well, JT make a video tomorrow and say, why is this youth not there? Because my ultimate goal is to see the Jamaica national team with the best players. Me no friend baller, bro. Me no friend baller. You ever see me sit down and interview a baller? Me no friend baller, bro. Because if you're not playing well for Jamaica, JT, I gotta just tell us, bro, you're not play a good dog. You need to bench or stay at your yard. That's why I'm no friend baller, dog. Me tell you the honest truth. Me no follow up them baller and like friend them up and try to get them to talk to me and interview and them thing there. Me no friend baller, bro. What is the sense of me being friends with all the players on the national team and we're losing? What would that be the sense in me being friends with 23 losers just to make content on YouTube? That's not why I was on YouTube. I came on YouTube because I was watching YouTube videos, got a chance to go on a YouTube channel to talk football, and it was exciting because I was passionate about Jamaican football, and I was struggling as a fan watching what Theodore Whitmore was doing to the team, bro. I was struggling, bro. Remember, sit down for my coach, I watch some game on top, and now make the substitution. Them, he might make beat, I just had to be, bro. I may never have anybody to talk to about this. And YouTube was a place, bro, where I find a whole community of people where they feel like me, like, yo, that when I see the garbage, well, go on. We need to get out some of them money. So that's why you see, if I'm a come on YouTube, bro, me not come friend up no player. That's how politics work. And them think they lobbyists. A lot of you guys are probably in America or something. You know about lobbyists. People who lobby politicians will say, oh, where you say, you go past the lawyer? Well, we're going to remove 2,000 jobs from your district. I bet that politician have to keep them job there in place because they're being lobbied. They're taking money from people who are influencers. That's why me not take talk from baller. Me not friend up baller. Because you see, when me come on here and see them go out there, go mess up themselves on the field and play a bunch of garbage, me have to just come on YouTube and say, brother, me have to come on YouTube and say, yo, brother, you not play well, bro. Even Ravel Morrison, like, I'm a huge fan of Ravel Morrison. And when me say, yo, Ravel have to get it together. Like, them can't give Ravel baby buckle for the rest of his life. Ravel Morrison has to get it together. Like Ravel Morrison is the prime example of what, and all you young footballers, Ravel Morrison is the prime example of talent, not coupled with the right demeanor and the right focus and the right attitude towards the game. Ravel Morrison is an exceptional talent who lacks the discipline to kick on. So you guys remember that talent is one thing, but don't make it fly up in our head. Don't let Leon Bailey's success fool you. Leon Bailey got there through hard work. Might hear we call out Leon Bailey, but some him now pass the ball more time on Jamaica side, and some people come on and say Leon Bailey no good on them. Yeah, that's how fans are. Fans can say that. That's why they're called fans. That's why speech is free. People can come and talk. But young players, not get it confused. To the Phoenix, I want to see Leon Bailey reach there. Leon Bailey put in the work, bro. Him put in the work. Don't think that the people them on YouTube where you hear calling out Leon Bailey don't rate Leon Bailey. The reason why they call out Leon Bailey is because they know that Leon Bailey can actually get the job done if he just focus and get it right for Jamaica. So that's what Moan said to some of the young youths. We come see the video, and I think the video was, I think Craig Butler was writing some things like, yeah, they would go the lengths, they would go for lying to tear him down or some things like that. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. But personally, bro, there's no benefits in me tearing down Craig Butler. Craig Butler is the man who gives Jamaica the opportunity to have almost two footballer from Jamaica in the Premier League. I don't know any other stable that has produced. Dujon Whisper is not necessarily there yet, but produced two Premier League footballers out of a small country of 3 million. So we cannot erase that. So nobody can go to come try and say JT or tear down. Those things are untouchable. You see me I say? Those things are untouchable. He's great at that. That's what he does. You see me I say? He's great at what he does. And we always miss out the part there where you give him credit for what he's good at. That's another thing, Mr. Butler has selective, I think he has a selective understanding. He comes and he must have seen the video. He doesn't see the other part where he got any credit. And that's why I always say my show is based on unbiased. Yesterday, people say, JT, you now beat Mr. Speed because you're Mr. Speed, a friend. Me say, bro, I beat Mr. Speed about the quota system and Mr. Speed hop on the show. And when me say, if Mr. Speed hop on the show and explain himself, what me I go do? What am I gonna do, guys? The same thing if Craig Butler come on the show right now, come out on somebody else's show and go explain himself. I can only take what he says until I see something else happen. And the same thing with the JFF. When them come out and say something, me have to take it at face value, but I'm like, let me see what go on. Let me see if it work out. Let me see what they must say for true. That's why I take what the JFF says with a grain of salt, and I take what Mr. Butler says with a grain of salt. That's just how I approach it. Because those two, the JFF and Mr. Butler, I've found holes in a lot of their statements. Personally, I don't want to go back and forth with them over that, but I found holes in a lot of their statements that wasn't accurate. So if we're gonna, and nobody's gonna be 100% accurate, but there's been flawed statements out there, and those are the things where I could never agree with. And so I touch on a few things that Mr. Butler has said are opinions that I disagree with. And I keep lamenting. I don't have a problem with the individual. So open up your brains. I don't have a problem with the individual. I said statements and certain opinions of his, I don't agree with. Another thing that I had another problem with as well was I don't know his relationship with the JFF, and he said the JFF did a lot of bad things to him. And it's probably true. It's probably true. But I felt like every single chance he got, he made it about the JFF. And I thought it was getting there with Dujon Whisper as well. I saw Dujon Whisper on an interview almost starting to get ready to start doing the whole JFF fight me thing. And he's 17. He started to do like, like what happened to Leon Bailey is like happening to him. Yeah, the under 17, the under 20 thing, that was a whole mess why Dujon Whisper wasn't there. They missed a trick there. But that whole under 20 thing, Cataract was live streaming the under 20s, and I watched those live stream, and there was a lot of misinformation coming out about Dujon Whisper from Craig Butler and from Dujon Whisper's dad. I think Cataract walked up to one of them one day and said, somebody was interviewed and said, why is Dujon not here or whatever? And somebody said him have COVID. Then I heard again he had a knee injury, like he got a niggle a knock on his knee because he was playing courts or something, or he went overseas. He went to Spain, but he got a knock. Um, he got a knock or something. So there was a lot of misinformation around Dujon Whisper for that under 20. I don't know. I don't think Fuzzy was a good coach. I don't think maybe Fuzzy picked the right players. We saw how Fuzzy misused the players. And I'm being real with all the things. But there was a lot of smoke screens around Dujon Whisper and the training camp. But I was saying some of his other players weren't called. And there was probably a lot of bias there. But I don't think that what happened with Mr. Butler and Leon Bailey and the JFF, he should make all his players become an enemy to the JFF, that he's still trying to get them to play in the national team. Bro, you cannot try to turn your players against the same team, the organization that runs the team that you are trying to get them to play for. Start your own national team then and hit the JFF and make your player them play there. So I was saying, is he going to move on? Is he going to move on? Some people might say, JT, how dare you? You don't have the right to tell someone how to move on from a traumatic situation or encounter that Mr. Speed had with the JFF. And that's true. But in my opinion, Craig Butler has with the JFF, but in my opinion, I feel that Mr. Butler should move on. He always laments and talk about him being a patriot and how he cares about Jamaican football. I think after the election, he needs to accept, still keep pushing and burning the fire and push for change. But he needs to accept that the situation is also what it is. The JFF works for FIFA. The JFF is a branch of FIFA, just like how you had colonies in the days of slavery and the United Kingdom, England have their governor general tell us, yo, beat up the slave there. That's how football organization work. If FIFA call in from Switzerland and say, yo, Mr. Ricketts, put your foot on their neck. Manning's man did a show and you hear how the brother talk from Trinidad. I think a lot of you guys should go over there and listen to how FIFA deal with people. Go listen to how FIFA deal with people. FIFA deal with people ruthless. And I said that the other night on the show, that FIFA, for me, FIFA is an organized white-collar mafia. That's how I see FIFA. I believe that who checks FIFA? And when you hear about the normalization in Trinidad, watching that show, it was really a good show. I was like, holy crap. And this is why I told people who were crying out for ban, me I say, I must rock ban, them attack a reggae ban. When me people are crying out for ban and normalization, I say, people, go and read for yourself. Because when me read about FIFA ban, bro, it didn't look good. The things them when me see in a hit, it never looked good, bro. It never looked good. It never looked good. And that's why I said, guys, let's stay away from this ban thing. As bad as the JFF, we just have to apply pressure and hope they can fix things one by one until we can get to a place where we can still get results on the field and the JFF is actually functioning. But I'm not up for no ban on them thing there, bro. If you listen to the show, the man said they couldn't even go up against FIFA. They couldn't even go up against FIFA. They ran and won, and FIFA tell them, say, yo, a matter of fact, get them out. We are coming, come run things. Look what's happening in Brazil right now. Them fire the president and do a new election. FIFA said, no, this don't really work, so you can't fire the governor general. The colonizer say, yo, you can't fire the governor general. I will go tell you who to beat the slave them. I will go pick out the best slave them. That's how it works, guys. And me having an understanding, and I thought that Craig Butler is a smart enough person to understand that him can come on YouTube and on every TV station and say what he want to say. The JFF is not going anywhere. And I'm not telling him to get on board and just accept the shenanigans of the JFF. No, I'm not telling him to do that. But I expect him to be smart enough. I expect him to be smart enough to understand that the JFF is going to be in charge, and they're going to be in charge for a very long time. So I hope we put this Craig Butler thing to bed. As I said, I didn't like how Craig Butler was approaching the thing with the JFF and making his players a bargaining chip. Yeah, I hope I'll go gut, bro. Do ear for Bill to mang on my do give a Aldrin up and for Charlton the Dormer here in some Jamaica Copa America. Yeah, man, we hope to see some players from Charlton Athletic in the Jamaica Copa America team. And he's speaking Norwegian, by the way, guys. That's Norwegian. But I think between the Scandinavian languages, I think it's only 100 words that separate the languages. um yeah, Norwegian, they do sound different, but the spelling and stuff is a little bit. So this is Johan again, the man from Charlton Athletic. He prompted me to the Charlton Athletic partnership with Mount Pleasant. Great partnership there. Let's see if that bears any fruit. So as I said, guys, let's put this thing to bed. Siobhan, I don't know if Siobhan wanted to come on and speak, and just because people do have it that Siobhan is one of those people is trying to tear down Mr. Butler. So yeah, so at the end of the day, people, I hope we put this Craig Butler thing to bed and we can get back on the football thing. That nobody's here um talking about trying to tear Mr. Butler down. Like nobody's here trying to tear. Like I want to know, what is the benefit? Does that put money in our pockets? Like me and people say we are do it for likes and do it for clicks. Guys, just if you 1,000 stream on YouTube, sometimes if you one of them video, you get $2, $2. $2 in my country right now when me there is like is 6 kronas. It's like, bro, I cannot buy a candy with that. So I don't know, like making videos on Mr. Butler don't put money in my pocket, bro. Getting likes off talking about a video with Mr. Butler, I just cover stories that people want to hear and what gets the media space moving. That's how I do things, bro. That's how I do things, and I try to be unbiased. I'm not biased on Nani. I don't think I'm biased. I think I'm one of the most fair persons on YouTube. I think honestly, I think I will challenge anybody on that. That I think I'm one of the most fair person who's actually able to look at things without any emotions and just see it for what it is. I'm the same person. Where say that right now, who's here? I can't wait. I was even hoping when I saw Whisper training with the first team message. Oh my God, yo, the man can break in at the first team. Make we can watch Whisper a play on Saturday. And I said that to even Richie back in at them time. Let me say, bro, we can question certain things about Whisper right now, but make him as him when him start play, bro, we're gonna support him regardless of whether anybody like it or not. One thing, Mr. Butler, Richie Royal, none of Whisper's family can tell us who to support him. We're going to support him because we are Jamaicans and he's a Jamaican footballer who's excelling and trying to reach heights. Same thing with the players, them going back to Belgium or wherever they're going. If them start play good morning, and we see that these players need to get the highlight and they need to kick on, we we are going to support them as well, but we're also going to cover stories that people don't like as well. That's how YouTube people fans need to get used to this. Not every time you click on a video it's going to be something host on any show that you're going. It's not going to always be what you want to hear, bro. When you turn on your TV and the first, and it's not your favorite thing that comes on that you want to watch, you change the channel. That's just how life goes, bro. That's how life goes, man. Um, Siobhan, before I read these, your feed, give me a feedback. You're giving me a, you're giving me a, you're giving me a feedback, Siobhan. I don't know what's happening. I have to sleep. Yeah, man, Johan, bless up yourself, man. There will be a lot of competitive football. I know you are a Kira Anderson fan, and you can't wait to see Kira Anderson again in the Jamaican colors. He's been getting some more playing time at Charlton, and we're happy for that. He's a youngster that we have a lot of time for that guy. We hope he can get some more playing time in the national team. Um, but I hope he's working hard enough to own that position, because that position is still there for the taking. People are still discussing whether Joel Latibodier is the man or Damian Lowe. So we hope. All right, it should be good now, Siobhan, I think. So we hope yeah, man, you should be good now.
All
So
right, good.
we hope that he kicks on. Before I get to the comments and we clear up the comments and we move to something substantial, Siobhan, clear up your thing with Craig Butler. They're saying that you're a Craig Butler hater. I'm a Craig Butler hater. So just go ahead. I'll give you your chance.
Yeah, so I don't know if Pearson's need for well, afternoon everybody. Hopefully everybody is doing well so far, keeping safe. You know, it's very difficult times out there now. Um, for anybody who say I'm a Craig Butler hater, you must be a Chauvin hater because throughout that entire video, I even said it to JT. Everything you say allegedly, because we
Mm,
have no proof of anything. We got information and we said it. If we
mm,
get information, so I hear a person saying that I don't speak down on anybody else. I speak bad on anybody. I speak bad on Mr. Speed, speak bad on Mr. Chung, speak bad on Mr. Ricketts. I don't care who it is. I
mm,
got information and there was a part in the video as well. Everybody could clearly hear me say, take whatever information that you hear with a grain of salt.
mm,
So I just got information. At no point did I say information that I said there is true. If you guys take it that, then fine to you. But I never said the information there. It's 100% credible. I said take it with a grain of salt. It was just interesting because what I did say was that the facts that were given. We spoke about the players JT that hadn't played from November, even
mm.
when the club had games in December.
Yeah.
For any football person would know that that is a bit weird because a club is not going to give you holidays when they still have games to play.
Mm.
The club had around 5 games after, and
We were
players
talking about
were
the club in Belgium now, right?
yeah. So the club had games after, so that's what I said. I said it was a bit strange, and then I at one
What's the
point
name
I
of this club, Siobhan? Let me just while you're talking. What's the name
it's
of this club?
I can't remember. I think the last part of the name is Visa Vice VISE.
People, let me know in the comment section what's the name of this club. I know it starts with V, but I don't know. What's the name of this club? In
You
in
can
in
just type in any one of the players them name and you will see the club come up.
Okay, all right. Keep talking. Let me
Yeah,
find.
so for those of you who say I'm a Craig Butler hater, Mr. Butler can say it himself. Saturday, I was one of his biggest fan at the game, the combine. I remember JT, I told you that. God, I told you, Craig Butler, his team performed masterly at the combine. You remember when I was
Yeah,
telling
you
you
said
this?
that. You said that his team was a cut above the rest.
Exactly. You could see that his players were above the rest. So, for persons to say I'm a Craig Butler hater, then I mean, it's fine. But I spoke with Craig Saturday, me and him are run joke and everything. I have nothing against the man, but as what JT would have mentioned, in the past, things have happened. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, brother, hope this is not the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
And then hearing it from multiple sources, because remember, JT's source and my source are two different sources.
Mm-hmm.
We talk on things we don't know. Every day on the on a certain show, I talk about things we don't know because a certain person tell you to do. Everything will come out of the JFF when I run and believe it from a certain person. And then I don't have no truth to it. And even when the JFF come out and banish all of them claims that when they say I lie, the man them I tell. So some of
Mm-hmm.
my time you guys just need to think about what I do and stop. Because there's no point in time did I say. Every time JT said something the other day, he said allegedly. Whenever me say something, he say allegedly. And I said, take whatever information you get here with a grain of salt, because the source that I got it from is not 100% credible.
Yeah, you did say that. So the club is called URSL Vice. URSL Vice, and they are at the bottom of the table. They're the worst team in that league in Belgium. Um, not doing very well. They have 12 points. And yeah, you can see all the players here. Mr. Butler players. There's a lot of Belgians here. There's a few French players, a German, but it's popular. I think somebody is also there from St. Kitts or something. It seems a midfielder, Sherman Phillips, right back here from Haiti as well. I think well, a player should be there from yeah. So yeah, those are the nationality. But you see, only two players at this club is getting 200 thousand euros. So it's this one player named Dennis Dennis what is this? Bunchukov or something like that. He's a central midfielder. He's 20 years old. He looks like he's
Boy,
from Ukraine. Yeah,
boy.
he's from Ukraine. He's worth 200. That's what he's worth. 200,000 euros. And there's a left back um called Johan Marmot. He's 24 years old. He's French, and there's another flag. So as I said, these players need to just humble and play because they are not even see all these other players are free transfers. Most of the lot of these players there are free transfers. So just humble and play some football because there's not even money signed the side on the name yet. You know what I mean? It's not even
Yeah, Richard Green. So it's not possible for me to get up and call Craig because I don't know Craig's number. And as a JT mentioned, Mr. Craig is not going to come here and because he knows the type of person that JT is. JT is not going to hear something and then not question it. JT is not like other persons. If JT hears something, he's going to question it. And knowing Mr. Butler's how his persona, he is not the type of person to just accept that. We've all been on shows where when persons question Mr. Butler, the show goes off the rail.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
not something that you can really get up and say.
Yeah,
So I mean, if you guys took what I said as 100% truth, then I'd ask you guys to just go back and listen to the show.
hmm
Cause there, I remember even one time I think it was Brian. When
hmm
I said it, Brian said, "Oh, me know how we attack."
yeah, yeah.
So,
But
but I
we're
mean,
gonna,
if you know,
yeah, man. I think you said, Siobhan, we're gonna stop beat the old Craig Butler horse there, and we're gonna get to the quota system today. And we're not gonna go too crazy on it. John Wall. I hope somebody gets to talk to John Wall today at the press conference. What time is it in Jamaica now? It's about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
no man, he gone already, man. I see if I can call him G.
Yeah, man. Contact NG and see if anybody has any information because somebody need to talk to John Wall. Okay, before the show start, me read some comment. You two lie. I be a lie you run with. Says got 438. Beer bring you
No man,
uno
I
bring.
delete. Don't read that. Don't read that. Don't read that. I delete the comment for a reason. Don't read that,
Okay, uno bring down. Can bet uno never even do
brother. I
things.
tell you, say stop read that, brother. The comment, brother.
No, but
Ignore
me
it him
can't just
comment.
read him comment, bro. Me just read it.
No, him say something disrespectful upon it, dog. Especially the comment the way you have up. That's why I'm say it.
Boy. Well, oh yeah, we must say it's your mother. But yeah, but like Siobhan, 2024, you have to understand this. I've learned so much from YouTube last year that, to be honest, comments don't affect me anymore. Because I tell you this right now, Siobhan. Like, me just I read him comment, like, I don't know the person. He's a faceless person who just came over and, just, I don't know, just became a typer. I don't know. He just typed some stuff. And I don't have any problem with that. And we move on. Like, I'm not going to stress
Yeah,
over
that's
these.
why I said just ignore the. That's why I'm removing from the comment itself. So just when I say the illiterate persons, them, if a persons want to be honest, if you want to remove, as I say, the
So
illiterate
what did
people,
you
them
do?
want to
Did you
remove them.
time him out or you block him or something?
I did block him, but then I said the block too much, so I just time him
Oh
out.
yeah, man, you can't block him. Don't do that, Shavan.
Nah, man, that's what I said. My time, I unblock him and time, just time him out.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
block him, man. I just time him out. I never block him. I block him, but then I realize that they too far, so I just time
Yeah,
him out.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 do that. No, do that. To him. Because that's extreme. You can time them out because when you actually time them out, them actually get the message and don't show up back actually for a while. And then a lot of them show back up and actually realize they actually have to start talking about football or just we just don't pay attention to them. Um, that man forward with something on him chest. Don't know who JT, the player you made mention of the other day, said I quote me good man coach. The video is there. Yeah man. Him say that man.
Oh,
Him
JT,
good.
you talk about the under 20 squad though,
No, I'm gonna bring up the under 20 squad. I'm gonna bring up the
and
I
that's
need
why 2 minutes me have left. I have this, you know. Plug up my charger and pack up my bag, you know.
yeah, man, I'm gonna set up, but drop in the under 20 squad on the screen soon. If your story is inaccurate, nothing wrong with taking accountability. And I just think the story needs explanation. Because it's not my story either. Yeah, man, bless up Siobhan there. Wait, but Siobhan needs to be here to clear things up as well. Says, I heard the team is in the third division in Belgium. Yeah, we just saw that. JT is a
Oh,
good start.
Simon just dropped the link for the interview, the press conference. Well, the interviews.
Oh man, with John Wall.
Yeah, but I said it would have gone already because I'm from 4:45 and a
When
15
drop
minutes
it
away.
on YouTube.
Now I'm on the media group.
Okay, but is it a YouTube link?
Yeah, it's a YouTube link. Yeah.
I wonder if you think we would get copyright if we play it on here. Maybe we can play the audio. When I want people, no want to hear the interview from the John Wall interview. Make we see if we can check that out because I really want to hear what John Wall is saying. Oh, it's in my other phone. Siobhan. Oh, Siobhan is. Oh crap, man! I don't have my other phone, bro. I don't have my other phone to check out the interview from the media group. But I think I can. Yeah, okay, okay. Siobhan, can you send me the link?
Just go on JFF Live YouTube page. I did it on JFF Live YouTube page. Because if the app me I using, I not use the browser. I don't know the stream app itself.
Yeah, I don't even want them people to copyright and strike my channel. Yes, because them don't really like me, no, bro.
Nah,
Um,
man. If I anything, me make Simon know, so don't trouble it, man. If I anything.
yeah, yeah, because I don't, yeah, I
And
really don't.
no, you can't get copyright feed either because other media houses are gonna have the same content. It's not an exclusive something anyway.
Okay, it's premiering right now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I be a breeze, brother.
The next thing, so Mr. United, if you are here, me give me a minute because I the same phone my WhatsApp depend. So if I come
Understood.
out of the chat, it will go.
For me, it's
All right.
been since March, been doing those 2 sessions, and obviously stopped in November. Let's see again. December, a small scrimmage against Portmore. Really appreciate that they were willing to do this. Gave me a lot of insights.
All right, coach. So far, what is the recruitment so far? Where putting funds are you
In terms of that, it's
Yeah, bro.
town.
Yeah, this thing is on. It's unbearable, bro. We can't. I be a breeze. I be a breeze, bro. Still reading the comments 30 minutes after the convo pass. Yeah, I still wanted to read people's
My
comments, bro.
side.
Yeah, bro, the wind there is crazy, bro. The wind.
Yeah.
I, I,
Yeah, we need to talk to.
I don't
Really
know,
need to
bro.
get that sorted out, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
yeah, the wind there
uh
is crazy. The wind, I cannot hear that, bro. So I wanted to know from John Wall himself today what is how is this quota system thing is going to work? Because another thing is, people, I have accepted the quota system. Me not have, because you know what? The next thing is, people, me realize that me can't win. Like, there's nothing I can do. I just have to just accept the quota system. The fact that the JFF actually put it in a manifesto,
Mandate manifesto, exactly. That's
it
just
tells you that the JFF has actually doubled down. And but I think it has a lot of rumblings of election. Um, he has a lot of rumblings of election. What you call it now? Election pondering. Like, they are saying there's some people who, I think their votes for Mike Ricketts was hinged on how much local players get to be in the squad. And I think Michael Ricketts, them know to secure the votes, they give that up and say maybe that can be negotiated down the road. That's the how I see it. But I think the fact that it showed up in the manifesto, it tells me that there's some people in the organization who is really, really making sure that this thing is concrete, and that a lot of youths in Jamaica is going to come out of this team. I think I can pull up the squad. Yeah, we should be able to pull up the squad, right? Let's pull up the squad for the camp that John Wall is at right now. We should be able to pull up the squad, right? All right.
yeah. You can put up the story.
Yeah, man, I'll pull up the squad, man. Let me pull up the squad here so you guys can look at the players and see what we have here. So, all right, we need to make this smaller. All right, people them can see it. All right. Okay. Or maybe is this a better view? Nope. Nope. All right, this is much better. All right. So as goalkeepers, we have Akeem Bernard, Phoenix Academy, Taywayne Lynch, Mount Pleasant Academy, Dijon Davis Mullines. These are the three goalkeepers. Akeem Bernard, I think, is the kid from Mona, I'm assuming. Defenders, Rolando Barrett from Cavaliers. Seems like the bulk of the defenders are coming out of Cavaliers. So let me see how much Cavaliers players we have there. 2, 4, 6 already. So we have 6 Cavalier players and in the defensive line. Only one player, 2 players in the defense is not from Cavaliers. One is from Phoenix and one is from Dumby Holding. Ronaldo Barrett, Cavaliers. Mikael Forbes, Cavaliers. Keanu Jackson, Cavaliers. Adrian Reed Jr., Cavaliers. Devontae Hodges, Dumby Holding. Omario Henry, Cavaliers. Robinho Garden, Phoenix Academy. Alex Xavier Gooden, Cavaliers. So to the midfields, we have 3 more Phoenix. So let me see so far now, because you see, this is where we need to be fair. You see, if there was no Phoenix Academy players in here, people that say, you see how much Cavaliers players in here? Let me count how many Phoenix Academy players is in this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Phoenix Academy players in there. One. Let me see how much Cavaliers players in there. 1, 7. So Cavaliers have 7 players in there, and Phoenix Academy has 7 players in there. So
JT, I think Unseen was saying that the last name on the list, the Matthew brother, Matthew
yeah,
Ellis.
he's not at, he's at the wrong.
Yeah, I think he's at Cavaliers actually. I
Yeah,
heard
he's not
Unseen
at
say.
Mount Pleasant anymore. Okay, so in the midfield we have Denzel McKenzie, Phoenix, Alexander Bicknell, Phoenix, Romarion Thompson, Phoenix, Carlton Brown, Phoenix, Christopher Ainsworth, Cavaliers, DeJohnny Brown, Montego Bay United FC, Leo Campbell, Montego Bay United FC, Dustin Cohen, Veer United. And for the forwards, these are the players that are currently in camp with John Wall right now. Tyrese Gore, Portmore United, Brian Burkett, Dumbley Holding, Demarion Harris, Phoenix Academy, Matthew Ellis, Mount Pleasant Academy. So, JT Black Shavon, when he talks crap, every show he's on, he keep blocking people who talks about him and his friends. Bro, no one is always right. Be a man and fling back stone and stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Shavon, no more blackings in on this. Cause then people must say I black people on other show and sitting too. They must say I be a black party I keep, brother. So no more blacking Shavon. We don't want black. We don't want black them. Yeah, so there you have it. Craig Butler is quiet. These are the things where, guys, these are the things like I'm always where I said that Mr. Butler is just not fair. Like you see, if there was enough Cavaliers, enough players in here, he would have came out and said that. Look at Mr. Speed have 7 players in here from Cavaliers. No, he has 7 players in there, and you hear nothing. You hear nothing, and that's what I'm saying, people. After today, we're gonna get back on football. After today, tomorrow we're gonna start talking United States, Jamaica. We're gonna start talking Copa America, and we're gonna get back on football track. Today, we just needed to clear some things up and just get back off the whole um, football garbage, the unnecessary stuff. Dexter Lembikisa, people. Dexter Lembikisa has been making a lot of progress, it seems, at his club. Dexter Lembikisa is making a lot of progress at his club. I think they want him back now. It's said that they want him back at Wolves as he played. So he's been playing well, though his club is at the bottom of the table. I also saw where I think one of his ratings in the last game was like 7.8 or something. He's really getting some high ratings. This player is really playing well. So maybe, just maybe, that we have made some progress there in the right back, position. We might have made some progress there in the right back position. So Dexter Lambikisa, that's good. Haven't heard anything about Javian Brown. I know he's out of season now, and they're going into pre I think they should be getting back into season. So let's hope that somebody, we haven't heard anything from Coach Jaime as yet when it comes on to any recruitment. As you know, we probably won't hear anything until close up to the FIFA window, when he comes out and he basically speaks about players or stuff like that. So we haven't really heard anything from John from Coach Jaime Algrimson, but I'm sure that Coach Jaime Algrimson is trying to bolster this Jamaica Reggae Boys team, and hopefully we can have a good team. So as I said, people, I accept the quota system because I can't win. I can't win. The moment it came out in the manifesto, I realized that, listen, these people has made up their mind, and it's either you roll with the punches or you get punched yourself. Like I can't do anything. The quota system is there. They're the ones in charge, and they're running the show. So all I can do is just, just go along and just still support. Hopefully some of these youngsters from Cavaliers and Phoenix Academy and is good enough to get the job done in the early stages. But I think with Phoenix Academy and Cavaliers, there's enough good player who should be coming out at that branch of players there to give us at least a competitive team in the first round against these other Caribbean teams. I think I'll be confident with the Phoenix and the Cavaliers players for now, to be brutally honest with you. I think there's enough decent players at Phoenix and decent players at Cavaliers, plus the other guys from Mobile United. They at least should be decent enough. And I think John Wall will probably try to get them to play his style of football. And if we know anything, if his style of football is the Swedish style of football, we know they're gonna defend very well. That's one thing I can say to you. We're gonna defend very well. But one thing you should look for in the Swedish style of football is not a lot of flair, and it's going to be one striker chasing the football, and I don't like that. something that I really don't like. Romain Blake is a MLS player. Yeah, man, those guys are not even called up yet, man. Romain Blake, Kobe Thomas, or whatever the kid name is. Those kids played the last under 17 and they were quite young. So none of those players are there yet. Even with the quota system, I think we can have a decent team. I believe we're not gonna have our best team, but I still think we can have a competitive team. I think John Wall has to be strategic with how he picks his team. I think if he's gonna bring a goalkeeper from overseas, like the UK or somewhere, the goalkeeper that he brings need to be the starting goalkeeper. And then if he's going to pick two goalkeeper, he pick the other two goalkeeper them from Jamaica. That's what John Wall needs to do. Pick two goal. If he's bringing two or three goalkeeper, two goalkeeper from Jamaica, and the one goalkeeper you bring from England, he's the starter. No, because John Wall can really finesse this 7-player thing and try to shift it back in his favor. And next thing where John Wall can do is the 7 players that he brings needs to be 7 starters. That's another thing that John Wall needs to do. Make sure the 7 players that he brings in, they are 7 starters. So what that is going to do, it's also going to make it very competitive. So the 4 other players who are coming on the field from the local guys are really good players who filtered through the group of all these players we have right now. And then we're gonna at least have close to something of a good team on the field. So I think John Wall cannot make the mistake and have 2 goalkeepers from overseas in that bunch. I think it's even a thing where him can even risk it and go for a 3 goalkeeper from Jamaica and lower their number and take in 7 players. But I still think there's some good under 20 goalkeepers but they don't have their documents either. So we're probably gonna have 3 goalkeepers from. But he can't use up 2 of his picks. This is like the NFL draft, man, or the NBA draft. This is not special to me. Okay, whoa, bro, what kind of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, you frightened me, bro. Yeah, he's a decent goalkeeper. I think anytime I see goalkeeper who's that big, bro, I Jordan, what was the kid name from Cavaliers? He was too heavy as a goalkeeper as well. I don't like when goalkeepers are that big. And I think Pusa is looking a bit too big for me. I need my goalkeepers to be more nimble. Goalkeepers, he needs to slim down. I would think he needs to drop at least 20 pound, 25 pound to really, because I think Jordan Fletcher, that was not the Jordan Fletcher. What was the guy name? What was the goalkeeper name from Cavaliers, man? There was a Jaden White, man. May I mix him up with Jordan Fletcher. Jaden White. Jaden White was too big. That was a thing. He was putting on too much weight, couldn't control his weight. And I think that hampered him as a goalkeeper because he was young and he was getting a lot of game time under his belt. But I think he put on too much weight. So yeah, John Wall can finesse this thing, 6 players, and then maybe try to negotiate, or as Mr. Speed would say, what was the word that they used? It's almost validate the other picks. Maybe he can squeeze in 2 more. You know what I mean? Maybe he can squeeze it because because Romy, you know that it's not all that bad, you know, because here why it's not all that bad. How I'm looking at it now. If we get Dujon Whisper is counted as a local base player. Romain Blake counted as a local base player. That's 2. Who is another player that we have playing under 20? That's locally based, Siobhan. I know Romain Blake and Dujon Whisper as 2 under 20 players. So let's say we have those 2. Those 2 plus 7 players from overseas already. That's 9 players you have there. That's 9 starters you would be having right there. A Romain Blake, Dujon Whisper has to start, and your 7 other players that you're bringing from the diaspora. You're already looking at 9 players that can be on the field. So, I do believe that with all these players that's on the screen, there has to be a few good players in here. A lot of those kids are getting a lot of playing time at Phoenix. They're training every day. A lot of those players at Cavaliers are getting Premier League football.
Yeah. All right. So JT. So because I kind of see a lot of persons saying that why so much Phoenix and Cavaliers players are on the team. I
Yeah,
don't
Shaban,
understand
your
because
mic is muffled, bro. It's because of your location, probably. So yeah. So when it sort out, you forward back. So in a taxi, okay. So I think that John Wall can work this. I'm not worried. I'm not worried as long as John Wall makes sure. And another thing is, John Wall is also now forced to pick the 7 best players that's in the diaspora. That's also another thing. Um, if the quota was at 10, I could have lived with it. I could have just say, you know what, I can live with it and accept it because it's half and half. I can accept it. If it was 10. Um, but John Wall has to be strategic and know that the 7 players that he brings in. And people need to understand as well. The good thing is that he's gonna be able to rotate players in the next leg if Jamaica kicks on. So that's what we say. If we get Dujon Whisper, Romain Blake, those are 2 under 20 players already who is, I think, is pretty good and can play right away. And plus the 7 players from overseas, a goalkeeper and 6 outfield players, you already have 9. Just need 2 players there to make the starting 11 and then create depth from what you have here, because I'm still I'm still confident that a lot of these youngsters here are going to work hard to get into the team. I think a lot of these youngsters there also believe in themselves, and they do. Probably there's the kids from Cavaliers, kids from Phoenix Academy, Mobe United, Dumby Holding. um we have Veer there, 2 players from Montego Bay United, um, and stuff. Players there from Portmore. So a lot of these guys are going to want to make a claim, and I know somebody's gonna put their hand up. Out of this group of players here, somebody's gonna raise up their hand and say, "Listen, I think I can do this. I can play." And John Wall will reward that player. And I think with the coaching of John Wall, one thing we have to say though, and this is one of the good things that Jaime and coaches like John Wall has going for them. If this turn out to be anything like how Jaime set up his team against Argentina in his first game, where he had 2 days training camp, I think John Wall, with a month training camp, can set up a decent team. No, Kahim Dix. I think he's too old, bro. Kahim Dix is too old. He's gonna be 19. Them and the adult to play football in high school. That's another problem that those youths are running into. They're excelling, but they're playing against 15 and 16-year-old. They're big man. They're adults. So I think Kahim Dix is too old. Malachi Douglas, they're too old. They must be too 30. You see me? So Adrian Reed. There's no Adrian Reed Jr. So I think we will still have a decent team, people. And I hope the quota thing died down for now and John Wall figure it out. I would say, Mr. Speed, if you're watching this, at least give him 2 more. 9. If we can get 9, it's all right. 9 and 11 from Jamaica. 9 and 11 from Jamaica. So we get the best from Jamaica. 9 and 11 of the best players from Jamaica. Let we see. So the weight is still, the average still favors the local game, because I need to be diplomatic in this, and I need to understand this, and I need to be understanding of this, because I know we want the best team out there. But I know it's also easy for me to sit on YouTube and say that bring in everybody and let them play, while there are people in Jamaica who's dreaming and hoping and want to get there as well. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. I'm really torn between these two things of being a Jamaican and wanting Jamaica to have the best team at the youth level. At the senior level, we not take prisoners at the senior level. All if it's 23 players from in the diaspora, that we depend. When it comes to the senior team, as them say, but when we get down to I think we have to compromise as well when we get down to the youth level because of the youth level. I think because the youth level is a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more complicated because now that there's also more academies gonna pop up in Jamaica. If kids are coming through those academies, then they're not gonna be able to play if we get all 20 players from the diaspora. So we have to find a balance as well, I think. So we have to really find a balance with that. We have to be a bit fair. Still think the number 7 is low. I think nine for me would do it. But as Mr. Speed said, I think no, John Wall has to work for 9. He has to work for 2 more. And I think he could actually get 2 more. I think he could actually get 2 more. So
JT, you hear me now?
yeah.
All right, there is me not Spain, so you know, so Jamaican people love me nice already.
Mhm.
So, all right. So one thing I know might affect us with our overseas players.
Mhm.
A lot of them, because it's not a FIFA window, a majority of the players that are available to us, a lot of
Mhm.
them are actually first team players. So it could be a situation where most of the players aren't actually available for the February window because their clubs won't actually let them go. So that's something that we have to factor in as well. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but we have to kind of look. We have to
Yeah,
kind
man,
of
I remember that,
yeah.
and this is why I said as well. I Siobhan, that's how I am, Like I can get heated about things, but as soon as I get time to just filter out the noise and then start diving into the minute things, then I can come to an understanding and I calm down. Because then when I really looked at the and this is what people might say, JT, you flip flop something, guys. I'm constantly changing. I'm growing. I'm growing. There's certain things I'm not gonna change on based on how I was raised in Jamaica, which is I think is good for our society. But there's certain things that I'm gonna evolve on. If somebody says something yesterday and they come back and it's something improving on what's been said or the things move, I have to accept and move on. That's why a lot of people are still stuck in their lives, bro. They don't accept and move on. Like you can't beat the same rock every day. You see me? So when I really dive into the thing last night, I said, okay, Jaja, are we gonna, because this under 20 is very important to me. The reason why this under 20 is important to me is because um I think we need only 3 or 4 players. We need 3 or 4 players out of our under 20 to really stick their hand up by the end of 2024 to then start pushing into the senior team to help the senior team get younger for the 2026 World Cup. That's why the under 20 is very important for me, because what that would have done is it would have gave those players access to John Wall's coaching, where John Wall then dumped those players off to Jaime Algrims, and they would have came through that course right up leading into the national team. Then when Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup, you see we start asking everybody, and it's 100 bunch of random players. Continuity is very important to me as well when it comes on to this. And this is why John Wall coaching this team is very important. I wish we had another coach from this coaching staff at the under 17 level. And we're just streamlining step 1, step 2, 17, 20, senior team. And they would have known the philosophy of John Wall and Coach Jaime Algrimson since the youth 17. Marian Garden, on the other hand, I hope you excel, brother. But to me, like I just don't know. I don't see you as a prolific head coach. So I don't know. You have to do it for me on the international level, Marianne Garden. The schoolboy stuff, the schoolboy resume is just not enough for me. We saw what we got from like Fuzzy and those guys in the U20. You guys just don't show up for those competition. It's bigger ball game. You know what I mean? We need international minds in the room when it's time to play those games. You see me? So with that said, I really I'm still hopeful with all the challenges and people are getting riled up right now. I was very riled up as well. I just see I was going hard yesterday when it came on to the under 20s. And I stated that I thought that Mr. Speed and them, that was a bad move. But seeing it in the manifesto, I realized that this is called pondering. This is this quota system is collaterals, is collateral for a vote. Somebody or some individuals in the JFF needed this to be concrete to get their vote. I saw once I saw it in the manifesto, I said, the fact that there was so much, there has never been a manifesto with a quota system in there. Think about it, guys. It's a the pattern has changed here. So I immediately clocked in on that and I said, whoa, the JFF came out and doubled down on the quota system in the manifesto. That tells me that there was somebody in that boardroom says, listen, on not get me vote, you know. On not get me vote if we can't get some youth from down one place come play. A that go on. Yes, a that go on. And that's, I understand the life of politics. I understand how lobbying people work. I understand how leverage work. I understand how shaking your hand with one hand and have my hand next hand in your pocket work. I understand how if you tell us if you look this and box in your ears. These tricks come with life. You have to understand the toughness that, listen, that's why I tell people all the while. People always say, JT, why you always talk about Donald Trump and them things? Not a fan of everything that Donald Trump says. I just think that Donald Trump, he mirrors what society really is, but people, we live in denial. Always say that Obama is the world that we all hope for, with peace and love, everybody have a job, we love black and white, and but Donald Trump is the reality of the world we live in. A lot of people feel the way how Donald Trump feel, they just won't tell you. That's why I think that a person like Donald Trump is important for me. A person who will be even racist to you. But I can live with a racist like Donald Trump if he is. You know why? I rather him telling me that he's racist. I know how to operate with him. What's worse than a racist who's been friends with you at your house eating dinner every day? And when you meet up with him, white friends, he's the most racist person you ever met. You're gonna feel so betrayed. But if Donald Trump tells you say he's a racist and he go out and do some racist shit, you sorry for my language, it's nothing new. You know what I mean? That's my analogy, and those are some of the catalysts for me coming to my decision about a person like that. So that's what I'm trying to say with the JFF, and people, I would implore you to go and watch the Manning's Man show with the guy from Trinidad. To me, that was one of the most interesting shows I've watched on YouTube in the last 6 months. The most informative and the most, I listened to it at work today, and like, bro, it was like all the snaps in my brain was just firing off, like, because the man was bringing so much clarity to how things work, court of arbitration in Switzerland, how normalization work. The man has show you say, yo, when FIFA take over your football, they don't even have to talk to you anymore. So we also need to understand, so we can be pushing for things on YouTube. When FIFA gets in there, the normalization that you guys want, when FIFA gets in there, you on YouTube don't even have a say, because who are you talking to? You're no longer talking to Mike Ricketts or Mr. Speed, right? You're talking to some guy from FIFA that you don't even know. Who are you talking to? You're talking to a guy who doesn't even have to be in Jamaica to run the program. What you gonna do? Keep beating him on YouTube? So I tell people, that's why I said my respect for Rudolph Speed. I don't agree. My respect for Rudolph Speed comes from this. Rudolph Speed came on YouTube when YouTube was a hostile environment in the reggae boy space. That's when the YouTube space was just getting ready to explode in the reggae boys category. And I felt that Rudolph Speed, he's a warrior. People might not like his type of war that he fights, but I would want a person like that on my team. I feel like Mr. Speed is the man who's in a room with a bunch of cowards and the internet is going off on me that bash people. And Mr. Speed say, yo, wanna calm down, man. Me just tell them this and tell them that. Me I go out there. Mr. Speed was the man who came out there and take all of the big stone them. I have respect for that. I have respect for that. When it comes on to the quota system, we're not gonna agree with Mr. Speed them on that. What me gonna do? I sit down and argue with Mr. Speed. Me and Mr. Speed will never agree upon quota system. But I also, when Mr. Speed explained that you have to fight for these things around the table at the board, bro, I'm sorry. Like any educated person will have to just get over this and understand that this is not just about Mr. Speed. There's other people in the JFF as well that make things move. You know what I mean? In the coming election. That's what Speed said, that the parish presidents are saying, how you know, say, name some doppies down here, so who can play. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that people put pressure on people like Mr. Rudolph Speed them. So, and this is how FIFA operates, guys. This is how FIFA operates. Look how Qatar end up getting how Qatar got a World Cup. How did Russia get a World Cup? Remember after the Qatar, enough man lose them job. People go almost go out of prison for the World Cup. We go to we happen in a Qatar. The JFF is a branch of FIFA, guys. The JFF is a branch of FIFA. So I know what I'm working with. So when you look at people like Mr. Speed, them, we might not like Mr. Speed on YouTube, but guess what? FIFA is, Mr. Speed would be a top recruit in FIFA. I'm telling you, Mr. Speed would be a top recruit in FIFA based on how those people operate at a high level. They need people who can come out here and put out the flames. They need people who can get into a conversation with you and not allow you to corner them, even when them wrong. Look how much time we know say Mr. Speed a tell a lie and them can't catch him for corner him. Mr. Speed just a gossip. Him just a gossip. I mean, sometimes I watch him laugh and I say, then people don't realize that Mr. Like, one of the things where people don't understand is when Mr. Speed is having discussions is the way how we answer questions. Sometimes he always leaves it open for when your rebuttal comes back, or he preempt your answer, like this is what you're gonna try to say and this is what you're trying to do to me. And then by the time him say that, he basically neutralize you for the follow-up question. He basically neutralize you for the following question. And I seen that technique. Dennis Chung has his techniques as well. Dennis Chung is a next man where it's not easy to, because, and another thing that people don't understand, you see, Dennis Chung's tone is a special thing that I think has probably helped him throughout his career. Dennis Chung's tone can take the life out of any room. You're there, but Dennis, where the money there? The girl them not get paid. Dennis Chung will come. But I mean, all the monies are being sorted out. And the last time I checked the bank accounts, but it might be sent to the girls and we have to work out the taxes and stuff. Dennis Chung is not coming up here with you. and you're going to run out of steam. I know that. In any discussion, you cannot keep up here. You're going to run out of steam, or you're going to embarrass yourself. Dennis Chung just stay on a monotone with you and just take, and you can just see when people get revved up, they're just deflating and they have to come back down there and talk to him. I know how to deal with these people. These kind of people, Dennis Chung, them, Mr. Speed, them, and some other people around the world, when they meet me in real life, they're like, bro, youth, your brain working different. They quickly realize that he's a person who understands how these things work. I understand rhetoric. I understand the use of language, diversion, smoke screens, creating gray areas in discussion, leave things for interpretation. People, that's how I operate my channel. My channel has 2,000 subscribers. I sometimes get more views than channels who have over 20, 30,000 subscribers. I educate myself on language, NLP, rhetoric, how you structure things, how you deliver things to people. The brain cannot, if I tell you something, you can't unhear it. However, how you process that, it based on my delivery and the impact of my delivery. Repetition, things like these. Remember, I come from the songwriting world, writing pop music and then plays for 4 years. I understand these repetitions, the subconscious mind, to just plant those little seeds here. So I understand that people, that's why those people end up rising to where they are, man. yeah, it's true. Man, I said, if I'm telling you something, you can't unhear it. You can't unhear it. Like I told you that, whether or not you want to. It's like sometimes, I'll if you cock up your ears. These people say, good assessment, JT. Listen to Chung talk. I give up listening. Same thing. You see, you see, it's the same thing, bro. I'm like, sometimes I'm looking at the comment sections and I see people like, I go gun ho, and them like, why the girls them not get paid? And Mr. Chung, you say, I mean, so we had a little discrepancy there, but everything FIFA is coming there next week, and the girls, I mean, cause Mr. Chung always a put in, I mean, um, I mean, listen, we would not want the girls not to get paid, and I mean, it's not a good look for the JFF. But I think at this point, the last time I spoke, I went to the bank myself and I saw in the vault of the lady walking in there, pushing the money in the girl's account. Whether or not the money got to the girl's account, that's probably from their sides, and we have to also get in contact with the tax. How to when we just say no. We have to yeah, always I use this other word, man. Compliancy. We have to, work out how to comply with, because in different countries, listen to this in different countries, and he uses these little words, and before people, you give people 20, 30 minutes tonight, they just, even Cranky is amazing at what he does. Cranky is a person who, I think he's Cranky. He articulates himself very well, and he Cranky's also not afraid to ask the tough questions in a subtle way with charisma. But even Cranky gets deflated. Even Cranky, Dennis Chung takes the wind out of him, because him say Dennis Chung just a go so with him, just a run lap, and Cranky I say, yo, Mr. Cranky have to just a go so with all him head, and him tired out. Dennis Chung them we tired you out, people. Mr. Speederman, Dennis Chung them we tired you out if you don't know what you do. If you don't know what you do. That's why when me get Mr. Speed them on the show, I just ask Mr. Speed, the quota system, why was this? Why was that? And when them give them an answer, you hear what the people them I say yesterday? JT, look like you get soft. JT, look like you get soft. Oh, you now go hard. Oh, you're not Mr. Speed is Donald Trump lawyer. Upbeat. They must say to me, JT, oh, you now go hard on Mr. Speed. May I say, that was obviously somebody who doesn't understand that. There's nothing else you can do other than ask Mr. Speed the questions. And when he gives you the answer, what are you going to do next? When Mr. Speed or Dennis Chung answer the question, what are you going to do next? And this is where the logical side of my brain come in. And this is why I'm able to move on very quickly. Somebody say, and he has a way of snapping his mouth after a pause when he's speaking. Oh my God, it annoys me. Yeah, man. Then Strong said, I mean, look at it this way. I mean, and that's why I want you guys to hold us. I mean, the JFF is not perfect, but he just takes the light. And this is why a man like Dalton Wint could not survive in this YouTube era. Dalton Wint was a man who Dalton Wint cannot control his emotions. If you listen to Dalton Wint on interviews, he has nothing on a Dennis Chung. He's not composed. You can get Dalton Wint to behave out of character. You can get him riled up very easy. I see so many weak spots. I saw so many chinks in his armor. You can just plunge that thing open. Like Dalton Wint is so not composed. I mapped out all of these people. You see what I'm saying? Mr. Ricketts is a guy where you probably hate him until you meet him. That's the aura that I get from Mr. Ricketts. You might hate him until you meet him, because he's very good at coming off reasonable. I think that's even why Mr. Ricketts is at the head of this thing. Because you see, the head of this organization, you can't have a man like Mr. Speed like that, because Mr. Speed also can be a brute force person who will fight fire with fire. What Mr. Ricketts does is he lets somebody fight fire with fire, while him being the face comes off looking very reasonable and diplomatic. So I think they have their team. I think they have their squad, bro. They got their squad. There's people playing position. They got their squad. Jason Guna said, I thought it was me. One noticed that. Even when Jason Guna basically cornered Mr. Speed the other night, And I saw that. And Mr. Speed knows in no court of law he could not beat that statement, that question that Jay Saguna had for him. But what I know is, even if Jay Saguna won that statement or won that little small battle there, it doesn't change the Constitution. Jay Saguna had Mr. Speed cornered when he said, so Mr. Speed, but if the coach has to come and validate the other two picks, does it ultimately means that your committee is picking the team as well? Mr. Speed, brother, if you have your master's and your PhD and your doctorate from heaven, if a God write on the paper and say, Mr. Speed, you're one of the brightest archangel in heaven, that you can't answer that, so there's no other explanation, Mr. Speed. The technical committee, if it's called filtering, if you have a filtering system based on a quota system, you're picking the team as well. But I understand the side you were coming from. You were saying that you're not picking individual players, handing them to the coach like, this guy needs to play. Because I do understand the ramifications that comes with that, where in the wider space, people can say, you see, me not tell you, Mr. Speed, them a pick a team. And I think Mr. Speed didn't. This is why I think, and sometimes Mr. Speed tends to be quite fair in his argument. he tends to be quite fair where he must say, I can agree with you on that, but and he meet you in the middle. But that was something he could not meet Jay Suguna in the middle on. Because meeting Jay Suguna in the middle on that, he's gonna end up in the toilet. He's gonna be in a load of crap. So I realized that's where the acrobatics came out there. And I said, I was here and I said, I saw it, cause Missy and Jason, and the same thing what I said with Dennis Chung. Jason Guna was becoming deflated, agitated. Jason Guna was just like, because he can't understand what he's hearing. Like, I think Jason Guna, this is just my analysis looking at him on the screen. I was looking at Jason Guna like, look like me need to go back to school. Like, if the man need to come to you, go ask about this player, and you not picking the team, like, me nah get it. Like, me seeing a Jason Guna head, and everybody knows that, Mr. Speed. I think to bring clarity to that is that you might not be picking the entire team, but you have a say in the selection of players due to the quota system. And if the coach has to come to you and validate other players from the diaspora, you can't have it both ways. You can't have a quota system and you leave it open-ended where you say it's not binding, that if the coach brings other players, he just need to validate why these players are going to play. You can't have it both ways, Mr. Speed. It just doesn't work. If the quota system wasn't binding, if the quota system was binding where you say 7 players, it cut off, done. 7 players, it done. It wouldn't leave any room, because then now the coach would know him get him 7 players and him pick the rest of players. He wouldn't have to come to the technical committee and talk to you guys to validate any other players. But the fact that the quota system has an open end to it, where it's not binding, where other players can come in if they're of certain quality, there's exception. So the exception, Mr. Speed, is what actually have you as one of the person who is selecting the team. And I recognize that. But I realized, I was like, here goes another war in the trenches of Ukraine that I don't think I can win. I saw that. I was like, I don't have the weaponry for that. Speed draw insulting card on Jason Guna. Omzo say he just has puppets who don't want to lose. Easy page. You can call it that. Yeah. Let me see what have to give Mr. Speed his credit. He's not afraid of any big stone. And when I tell us, yo, bro, Mr. Speed came on YouTube when, bro, some Changman bring some big stone, bro. Yo, the man come on YouTube when a tape get released with a party shop negotiation. And brother, that was the first time any of us hear the JFF operating the party shop, Remember, we only used to see the party shop business advertised on like TVJ. You see that Damian Lowe might have single-handedly changed Jamaican football. I think Damian Lowe might go down as a national hero, people. Yo, people, but a big man thing, Damian Lowe might go down as a national hero. The man go on in a game versus Canada and play the best second half of football in the history of Jamaica. And the man record the Football Federation a deal with a party shop negotiation, which end up expose the JFF to a level where pressure came in from YouTube to the point where the JFF gets shake up. That was due to Damian Lowe actually even using some of the same Mr. Speed them technique. Damian Lowe was very composed in that meeting, and him just let Bruce Gaynor them and Dalton Wint them just do it themselves, because they didn't know that they were being recorded. Let me not talk to them, man. Them things we are running. You think a party shop we run in Damian? In Damian, you think we running party shop around here? You know, and I'm like, he was just embarrassing himself. And I think when the fans heard that, when the fans heard that, I think that put you see that tape there, Damian Lowe. You probably don't watch my show, Damian Lowe, but if you ever see this, thank you. You see that tape the way you record the JFF, bro? I think you might have just saved Jamaica football. That recording there alone might have saved Jamaica football, bro. Because we would have never gotten the insight of really how party shop bag juice selling type of thing are going. Like some sky juice negotiation. A man say, me tie up the money in a bag and give you. Me drop off the thing. I just fling down the thing there. So don't look for me when I drop it. I go drop it on my foot and you just drive around and pick it up. It was those kind of things, bro. You see what I'm saying? So it was crazy. And when Damian Lowe exposed that, bro, it was like, holy crap. I saw them man really behave. People hit the like button. Please and thanks for the video. Come on, man. Come on. We're not even reach 50 likes yet. Come on, man. Give me a few likes on the video. Hit the like button, people. Please and thanks. Me almost do 2 hours and I get 50 likes on the video. Come on, bro. 2 hours. I want to get 50 likes on the video. That's a joke. Both record made by Damian Lowe. Yeah, man. Damian Lowe played the best half of a football that any Jamaican player in history have ever played. I can't think about another half of football other than Dion Burton scoring those goals for Jamaica going to the 98 World Cup. I can't think of a half of football from a player that has impacted a program more than Damian Lowe. When Damian Lowe came on, that was magical. That was just like, even though the man wild and just out there reckless, it's like, bro, you didn't need him. You didn't need it. It's like you didn't want dance, I want party, and nobody didn't want dance, and nobody, you just drop off a madman in a crowd, and him just start wine for everything. He might take shots, he might drink, he might burn weed, bro, like Damian Lowe did it all that game, bro. He just did it all, and it was like, it was unreal. It was unreal, but it was what was needed. It was the antidote. It was what was needed, bro. Whitmore against Japan was, the reason why I'm saying that Whitmore against Japan wasn't impactful to me is because Jamaica couldn't qualify anymore. We had lost to Croatia, we had lost to to Argentina already. So it was a consolation goal. The Damian Lowe goal is actually putting money, bro. Damian Lowe performance is actually helping the JFF get out a financial problem. He's putting Jamaican football on a new platform, a new level going forward, putting us into the semi-final of another big competition. So it's like, I can't think about one performance that has so many offshoots, different impacts, other than the Damian Lowe thing there. Yeah, it like Damian Lowe's second half has earned Jamaica Football Federation millions of dollars. That's what Mr. Speed is saying. When Shop, you see how Mr. Speed them see the world? The man say when you see Shamar put in the first goal, he say 1 million. Shamar score again 2 million. Yeah, Damian Lowe put in a $2 million second half of football for Jamaica. Point blank straight. $2 million worth of football the man play in a half for 45 minutes. And not only that, him give them the chance to get a couple more millions winning that Nations League. We don't know. Let's say hypothetically, think that will happen, but winning Copa America, how much millions that? And so I'm telling you, the catalyst. I'm just saying that. And Damian Lowe, I think all the Fear fans know that we give Damian Lowe his credit on YouTube. Damian Lowe, and one thing that I really respect about Damian Lowe is when I hear feedback from people who come on YouTube and sometimes they don't speak fondly of Damian Lowe and they meet him at games or in the dressing room, they say he's always professional. They're saying that youth is always professional. And with people like that, you're just gonna respect them. Like them people, they just get respect like easy, bro. Like all if you not like them, a man like Damian Lowe, you're gonna respect him. Like that's and that's a quality that not everybody have. You see me? I don't think that's a quality that I don't have that quality. I don't that's not a quality that I have because to be honest, I don't walk around looking for respect. I realized that a long time ago. Respect is earned, but you also will be boxed. You have to live a certain way for people to be respected. And I have no problem with people not respecting me. What I can do is I can choose not to be disrespected by you. I don't need people to respect me. That's your fundamental human right. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to respect me, but I can choose not to be disrespected by you. That because that's what I have control over. That's how my brain working on people. I quickly calculate things and I realize, what do I have control over here? What do I put brain power on stressing? And then when I see that, oh, I can't impact that. You move on quickly. That's why some people fall into this state of a cycle of constantly doing the same thing, thinking about the same thing, is because they're not able to kick on. They're not able to cut ties with their past. You know what they say? Your past is like a jealous girl, you know. She never wanted to move on. She always wants to keep you there, even if the relationship, even if it was toxic. It always wants to keep you there. Your past, it's like, come back and think about me. I know we had some bad times, but wasn't this a good moment here? And you're stuck there. While the future is, they say the future waits on no man. So it's either you get up and start moving with the future, or you go back to that same ex in the past who's toxic. Yeah, man. 1 million, 2 million, me here too. Yeah, man. That's sweet. Me hear them thing, them thing they stand out. Getting picking the MLS and not playing to USL, Norway, Egypt, US, and back in the MLS. Yeah, man. That shows he's resilient because Damian Lowe was. People, put some more likes on the video, now, man. We only have 60 likes on the video. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Please and thanks, man. Let's put some likes on the video. Damian Lowe, the pathway that Damian Lowe went through, enough man, to be honest, enough man now go really, enough man couldn't really survive. You see me I say? Enough man can't really survive. Enough man couldn't really survive the pathway because I think when Damian Lowe got drafted, I think he got injured because I mean around the same period of time there, I think it was Damian Lowe, Andre Blake, them, Darren Mattox, them. I think that's when a few Jamaican players start breaking through the draft. And I started to pay attention to the draft now because before that, I never paid attention to the draft until Darren Mattox. Darren Mattox going to Vancouver was the first Jamaican that really let me zoom in on the draft. And then I started looking at potential draftees, and then we start seeing this kid, Andre Blake at UConn, Connecticut. And I was like, all right, oh, really good player. Then we hear about Damian Lowe now, Anandi Lowe's son. He was another one. And then that's when I start paying attention to the draft. There was another kid, Lewis. But after those guys were the main draft picks. After that, the draft has been a bit. There's this youngster now that just got drafted that we saw on Sports Max. Hopefully he kicks on. So yeah, man, enough credit to Damian Lowe and those guys because that's another thing, people. And I said this a long time on YouTube, and it's very contradicting. And this is where some of my imperfections come out. And this is where I struggle with the conflict of loving my country, loving the people, even with all our flaws, because I'm them, they're me. We all comes with some deficiencies. I thought for this Jamaica team, I said this a while back on YouTube, for this Jamaica team to reach the heights that it needs to reach, it has to be the perfect blend. It has to have the fight of Jamaicans with the play of the well-developed diasporians. That's the balance, because the fight that Damian Lowe came out there with that night, I can't remember another overseas player coming in and giving that fight for Jamaica. But we can also say I can't remember a lot of Jamaicans who has given us that fight as well. But for the most, growing up watching that 98 team, well, Paul Hall and those guys, let me take that back. Paul Hall and Dean Burton, though they played the position, those guys had a fight. Those guys, and to be honest, when those guys came in, based on the way they fought, it kind of took away the attention that they were UK-based players, because they were warriors. And I'm not saying that these players that are here now are not warriors. They are good players, and they are who they are. I can't change that. But I believe that there's this little nugget in every Jamaican. Every Jamaican has this fighting spirit. I don't know where it's DNA. There's this fighting spirit, and there's a belief. Like I'm gonna say, yo, bro, let me go on in a dog. And say, if I don't come here, go out there in a dog. They must go kill me out there. And that translates in sports sometimes. And I feel like that performance by Damian Lowe was one of those whispers, like, brother, them have to go, yo, I tell them have to go give you out the today, bro, but we not lose a match, I know. Like, me don't know, like, I really don't know how to explain it to people that the Jamaica team has to have a few local players with that fight. And I'm not talking about players who are playing in the JPL or whatever. I'm talking about players who you can develop in the JPL and you end up somewhere else, but you're Jamaican, who came up off the ground. I believe that that little seasoning of Jamaicans off the ground has to be there. There's like, bro, the fight, and sometimes the struggle, like the will to win. Some people might say, this is embarrassing, JT. Oh, you're not. No. I was talking to my daughter's teacher today at school, and I was saying, what age do you guys start teaching them to read? Because my daughter is 4 and she's not reading yet. And my mom was saying, like, yeah, but Taylor, when you did have 5, you read and write and them thing there already, you know, you go to school. But the teachers were explaining to me again, the concept in Scandinavia is kids learn through playing up till 5.5, and then they start sailing after 5.5. And then I was saying to myself, rotted, you know, say, me can't remember all the time at school where school did just fun. We had just play, me and play, and just a play and I learn things. So, and he shows us some of the activities where they go in the woods and they're playing, where they try to solve things through game playing, problem solving in a group. I mean, I say, but yet they drill so much education in a way in Jamaica from the young age, and yet so much dunks people there, Jamaica, so much killing. Jamaica doesn't produce anything educationally. We're not innovative when it comes on to technology. The sciences, we are non-existent. You know, so it's a different approach. They learn different. Yeah, as you say, Maxwell, it's a different learning in Europe. So I realized, come here and say, bro, like I did well in all them young school there, but me don't have a master's and anything there. There was so much other distractions and thing. But yet when you meet most, bro, a good 70-80% of them people in Europe have degree and thing, bro. Or maybe over 60%. When you go to a place like Finland, like everybody educated, bro. All the dunces person educated. So I go to say that these it's I lost my train of thought, but it was on the fight factor of how the approach to get the different results. And though those players are developed in academies and stuff in Europe, yes, that's all I want to say. When they get back to CONCACAF now is a mixture of willpower, patriotism. When you see the Mexicans, they go, the brother, and Mexico, they man, they say, Mexico, rapido amigo, rapido, amigo, way, you know, you know, andale, amigo. The man, they, Mexico, they man, they say. I'm not saying that's not for every country, but I believe Mexico and them country, I think that's when they get football is what Mexico used to push to fight back against stigma, because there's a lot of stigma about Mexicans that they're just illegal immigrants and they just work 7 days a week. I think Mexico gets their respect through football. You can think about Mexican immigrants, but when Mexico line up in front of you, or if you are USA and you are Germany, you're better ready to play football, or you're gonna lose. So I think the Mexicans go out on the field and they're saying, we're gonna show you that Mexicans are not just about mowing your lawn and walking across your border. And that's why the Mexicans are so tough to beat. I think there's this pride in how they it's this pride in how the Mexicans play and how they want to show the world that it's so CONCACAF now. It takes a lot of fight, and that's why I said when even Mikel Antonio came into CONCACAF, though he might look big and he physically imposing and he's a good player, brother, you will have a little man from Honduras game trouble. A little man from Honduras will latch on pan him in a game. Or Costa Rica, or even El Salvador, and just give him hell to the game. That is just how CONCACAF is. It's a bro, it's not the greatest region when it comes down to football. But I would say that CONCACAF is actually one of the most difficult regions to play football. You see what I say? It's one of the most difficult regions to play football, CONCACAF, because the momentum of the game breaks so much. It's a lot of fouls in the game as well. You see, a lot of fouls in the game. The game doesn't carry in Europe. I think players play a lot more cautious because referees will make the blow the whistle and easier for okay. Dan say after 8 years, oh, this harder. This is why they tell you to train. Yeah. Yeah, man, from 5 or 3, if your kids can't get to learn in 3 years, then man. No man, my daughter she can't read and thing, man. You mad? Me just go with the Scandinavian system right now up to the approach with her being young. I don't want to start pushing her. Right now, I'm watching her actually. I'm watching her to see her interest, and I'm watching to see how one thing, my daughter probably can't read yet, but she can have a conversation, because I think one thing that I'm good at is explaining things to her. I explain things to her through giving her ultimatum. I'm like, okay, that's hurting right there on my toe right there. And I said, I can rub it, but I can rub your toe or blow on it, but I can't promise you it's going to feel better. But I will try. And she says, Daddy, it didn't feel better. And I was like, that's what I told you before. So, and then she's like, okay, I get it. And then it feel better. You see me? So, like, I think I'm developing that part of her brain where she's going to have a good level of understanding. Very curious, good level of understanding. And if I see it's getting up to like 6, and stuff, and she's not firing the way I need her to fire educationally, then that's, I think, when I'm because right now, bro, she just want to play, like they want to play Roblox. Sorry that I switched on to this. The kids are playing Roblox. As you know, it's this like a game where them can do everything, drive car, going to them house. So the lot of the kids at school a be a Roblox take over their mind now. So if your kids ever catch a laptop right now with Roblox, a murder thing, dog. Them just like a beer Roblox them depend. But what Roblox is doing is, bro, there's a lot of stuff in there that open up their mind to exploring. So there's many different ways to learn. Don't want to dive too much on that. But JT, hard work and country pride is important, but there are limitations. So it doesn't matter if the teams is a better or play. No, but bro, I explained that, Dr. Don. I said that a mixture, finding the right balance. If you eat salt isolated by itself, it's very salty. It tastes like crap. But make you get some good curry goat soup and the salt, some good, what them call them? Jesus, some good goat soup, not curry goat soup. Bomba. Yo, no, don't go and go cook. People, don't, kids, don't try that at home. There's no such thing as curry goat soup. Yeah, if you drink a cup of manish water and it not have no salt and it fresh, are the worst taste. Are the worst taste. So that's what I say. It's the balance, bro. Dr. Dan, may I talk about the balance? The liquor sprinkle. The Jamaica is the salt. It's the energy there. It's the clap. It's the Damian Lowe, like him gonna run through all the stadium because he feels like he can do it. You see me I say? So that's what I was talking about. It's the salt. The Jamaica is the salt. The other guys are the ingredients. Are the other ingredients. And I believe that it needs to have the combination. I said that's why I said I'm kind of, maybe I sound contradictive. Maybe I sound like I'm contradicting myself when I say I want the best. But that's what I'm talking about but Dr. Dan also I'm talking about in the squad. The squad I'm talking about, the squad me I talk about, because when the game starts, I need the best 11 on the field. That's the next thing we have to explain to people. I mean, it really matter if you're born in England or when the game start, I want to win. You see me? I want to win. So that's what I say. And you want to have players, certain players who push players in training. Because sometimes you can have players are just dragging on in training and going through the paces and I think that Demario Phillips, I need him out the team. But I think that's why Demario Phillips is in this team. I think Demario Phillips is a player that pushes players in training. He looks to me like a player who just keeps running down everybody, and when it's time to do the scrimmages and remind them that there's a game tomorrow and I would like to play for you. I would like to take your game if you're not interested in playing. He comes off to me that way, that he's a kind of guy who pushes players in training. And sometimes coaches see that because sometimes the intensity is not there. When you have players like Demario Gray, who's very chill, very calm, look like he just want to train with his hoodie and his headset. You have Leon Bailey, very calm. You have Boza, sometimes I give him joke. Maybe sometimes you need to have that man that will come in and put the hand on it and I try winning all them games. Basically, teams that I've been a part of that win championship, there were a few players there that on the team that weren't the best, but those players give you hell in training every week because they want to play and they want to improve. And it's a balance again. It's a balance. It is a balance. Yeah, man, Corey good. So the team, what is it saying here? So a team of talent and hard worker. Yes. Yeah, it's a mixture. And the hard worker should not be talentless either, Dr. Dan. Me no want you just come in because you work hard, but you have no talent. I still think we can find players who develop also in Jamaica who works hard with talent. I don't want you just being the team to be a hard worker. So I want hard workers with talent and talented, extremely talented players. That's how I see it. I'm not saying the players overseas. I'm talking about approach and development and maybe background and the fight and the social construct, the different motivating factors that can motivate a person to want to go hard, the willpower. Let me see if me even get 80 likes on the video. I may do almost 3 hours. We need to make sure. At least I get 80 likes on the video, cause else me if we just shut down the stream. Bro, me not even get 80 likes on the video, man. So we're gonna just bless up people, and I'm gonna be out of here because I don't think people really appreciate my time up here. It was fun. Let me just big up the people who passing through. People them come and do if you want to hit the like button on the video. So we're just gonna wrap this thing up. IT Push, thank you for coming through, my friend. Hope you hit the like button on the video. SB Dwight McNeil seems like he would play for Jamaica if you were interested in him. A hard worker should not take the place of a skilled worker unless the latter is unable to play. I used to buy ital stew and then take it home and put salt in it. My Rasta brethren them didn't like it. Okay, because you didn't like how it tastes like that, right? Okay, all right. See, you need that because you need it to kick a certain way, man. Just joining. What was the update on returning Phoenix players? Yeah, we got you that, Brando. We clear up that, Brando, man. Oh God, man. Now do that to me, Brando. That's the first part of the show. We clear up everything. So now we were just talking football. Because as of tomorrow, we need to get back to football. You think we'll be able to get the 15 likes to get it up to 100? But if you not get the Christmas, does this benefit Jamaica football or benefit club owners like Speed? Um, I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about there now, Chris Smith. 85 likes. Yeah, man. Let me see. I don't know if we have enough people here anymore to get it up to that, to 100. But yeah, either way, people, we clear up the Craig Butler thing. We went through the quota system. We tried to play the John Wall. Oh man, we tried to play the video with John Wall, but that crap didn't work. The wind in the background was just, it was windy, bro. The wind in the background was windy. So let me just yeah, so we clear that up. We clear up the quota system where I stand on it, and we came back to some football. So tomorrow again, tomorrow I may have to deal with something. But this weekend I'm back in the night. A football, straight football this weekend. The election is Sunday. I don't want to talk about the election because I can't impact it. Yeah, man, I had the squad up for the U20s here, bro. I had the squad up for the no, that's not the squad. Shoot, that's not the squad. Oh, that's just my YouTube videos. That's not the squad. But yeah, I had the squad up, man. It's there. That's just the regular up. Jairus them just a forward still. Yeah, man. We put in almost 3 hours, man. So for the people who are doing the watching back the show, they will see we clear up everything with the Craig Butler thing, and we also what is your stand on the quota system? You wasn't here. Let me just go back over the quota system. What I said, Jairus, is I accept now. I have to accept the quota system because it's the fact that I saw that they came out with it in the manifesto. That tells me that there are some people in the JFF who basically stick up Mr. Ricketts them and say, if this quota system is not there where Jamaican players are the majority in these youth teams, you're not getting my vote. I think the quota system to me comes off of a sold is of a few votes being bought. But I look at it this way, Jairus. I think John Wall can play this smart. The 7 players that John Wall needs to be 7 starters, 1 goalkeeper, and 6 other starters. Then you add a Dujan Whisper and a Romain Blake, you already have 9 players there on the field. And then out of all these players that we post up on the squad today, you need to find 2 starters. Right? And plus, Mr. Speed also said he could probably get, and I'm sure John Wall could get 1 or 2 more players validated if he got them from big club. If, as Mr. Speed said, if we get 2 players from Arsenal, Manchester United, we can't turn those guys back, or Barcelona. Because I think ultimately the goal for John Wall needs to be to get it up to 9. I think we can survive up to 9, bro. I did just post the squad, bro. Didn't I just post it off my YouTube? Let me see if I could post it up again, man. Bro, but this is the preliminary squad, you know, of the local players, bro. This is the squad of the local players. Let me just put it back up. This is the squad of the local players that John Wall is in camp with right now. And I will just go back over it for you then. I'm just going to go back over it for you. I think J. Russ, we have to find a way how to operate it, bro. And that's the only way we can see we can operate it. Because if you pre this, J. Russ, that if we get Dujan Whisper is a sure starter. Romain Blake is almost a sure starter. And then when you look at all these players now, how much players we have here so in camp? 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23 players there in camp. Yeah, tell me, say, we have 9 players there, so including Dujan Whisper them already, you know. 9 players. And if John Wall gets 2 more, let's say we have 9 plus 2, you're telling me that we can't find the next 9 players out of 23 players right now in Jamaica? Come on, bro. We have to be able to find that. I think we can, with a lot of Phoenix players here, a lot of Cavaliers players. Let me just see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Phoenix players here, Cavalier players here. They should be able to find 9 players. I believe that we can find 9 players here to add to it. So for me, it's not all done and dusted. Let me see. So JT 2 years ago, Speed said he have to have quota system and he don't care. Yeah, but bro, Chris Smith, we talk about that I'm not gonna fight the quota system war anymore. Like, bro, it's in the constitution, it's in their manifesto. I've this year I cannot fight any war that I can't win. That's what they have, bro. They double down on it, so we have to accept. I think your theory is spot on, makes sense. It was either compromise or lose votes to Anderson. Yeah, that's it, bro. It's and they were that's one of the votes that they had to sell. They had to sell the quota system, and I, what am I gonna do? I can't see. Jamaica football suffers, but we also know how elections work. They are deals being cut. It's sad though that we have so much people who think like that around the football. That's just FIFA, man. We went through this. This show was loaded, you know, bro. There's some gems in this show, bro. We went over a lot of this stuff. Vince said when he was technical director, he came with the quota system. So you act like it's, I don't know. Cavalier versus Phoenix camp. Speed versus yeah, man. There's a couple Mobile United players there as well. And because another thing what I'm saying, why the quota system, in some way it has to be there in some way. The number to me maybe should have been 50-50. I realized there is a lot more academies popping up in Jamaica as well, and there's gonna have to be, bro, there's gonna have to be a balance with this. There's gonna have to be a balance with this. I'm all about balance. But I think that the difference that right now with this team as well is we have an actual head coach that worked with youth players in Sweden and throughout his career. This is the difference. We're not taking a bunch of players from Jamaica and send them on a plane with Fuzzy. So I last night I went over it in my head and I said, you know what? we actually have a coach who maybe can organize these guys with a blend and we get some decent performances. So that's where I'm at on this. I think that's the difference. We have a head coach who can actually um yeah. Jamzo has no need to bring players from Europe to play football in U18. You don't see African teams do that, which is why their export records are so good. Okay. However, they need to have the JPL. All right. The CSC squad was made up of Cavaliers players and still got six. Yeah. Clubs have an academy as prerequisites to enter the JPL for its size. And yeah, all right. Big up yourself, Leroy Smart. Smart. At the first me I see Leroy Smart on this show, right? First me I see the name. On the show Chelsea would make Whisper leave for the tournament. Have no clue, bro. I'm talking about later. I don't think maybe he's gonna be here in February, but I think one of the tournaments should fall under some kind of FIFA window. To insist clubs in the JPL have academies as prerequisites, and man, yeah, the speed and Craig Butler United. JT Quota has always been there. It was nothing to do with votes. We just finally hear the number. That's all. Yeah, that's really good as well, bro. Thank you. Yeah, you might be right. It's no difference. Football education is no joke. They should just use the local players alone. Yeah, man. Thank you, everybody. We did a 3-hour show, and this one was exciting. We clear up the Craig Butler thing, then we went to everything on this show, man. Stefan, right? These people are so live in blame. Yep. We went through everything today, people. Thank you very much. And we'll be back tomorrow. We are talk USA, Jamaica tomorrow. We're glad we clear up this Craig Butler and everything thing and the quota thing. I'm not gonna beat the quota thing anymore, neither, because there's nothing I can do. And that's what I'm not gonna do on YouTube is let things that I cannot affect absorb my time. I want to also have fun talking about football this year as a fan as well. So we'll be back tomorrow night, guys. And until then, bless upon yourself. All right, walk safe.